All right, very good. Now, one thing that I do want to do, however, is I'm going to hit Control-Z one time. I'm going to get that back. I'm going to make sure that I hit X on my keyboard and make sure that symmetry is turned on, and that's going to give me a nice, clean, even bit of geometry on that. So let's bring our coat back and the shirt. I'm going to hold down Control, Shift, and Alt, and I'm going to hide that again. So I'll just come around, just like that, and there we go. So now if I click on that hood, you can see that it's nice and even and gives us a nice result here. I'm also going to hold down Control, Alt, and Shift, and I'm going to get rid of some of this along the back here. Try that a little bit more there. That should go straight across just like that. All right, very good. Let's make sure that we have our hood selected, and we're going to go down to Geometry, and we're going to say Delete Lower, and then Subtool, and then we'll Split Hidden, and then we'll get rid of any of that geometry that's still in there. In this lesson, we're going to use Decimation Master to reduce the polygon count of our high poly mesh. All right, so at this point, we want to go ahead and start decimating the characters that we have here. The way that I like to go about doing this is going each tool all by themselves. Now you could come in and you could start grouping some of these together to make this go a little bit faster, but there are some things that I want to kind of cover and just kind of give you some ideas about before you decimate, some things you want to watch out for. So let's go ahead and go through the pipeline really quickly. The first one we're going to do is going to be the head. The head of our character is made up of two different parts. One is the actual face of the character, okay, the skin, and then we have the eyeballs. The eyeballs we could leave in or we could take them out. It's not absolutely necessary to have them in, but I like to have them just in case. I do like to have them separated from the head, so I want to show you how we can separate them if we need to. So with this head selected, let's go ahead and go down and let's go to Split, but we're going to say Split to Parts. And what's going to happen is it's going to pull out the eyes as separate parts. So now we have just the head and then we have the eyes here. Now I can go ahead and select this top eye and go ahead and use Merge, and I can merge down and I can make both of those together, which is okay. I'm totally fine with that. But I do want the head separate in this case. Okay, so we'll leave the eyes alone. The hands, we can make sure that they are together with the glove on top of them. I'm not worried about that. Now, if you wanted to, you could also reduce any polygons that may be underneath the glove of the hand. To do that, you would simply split similar parts, and then you could go through and lasso around the hands there. But I'm not going to worry about that. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, the hood, everything is fine there. Now the coat, there are some things that we want to watch out for here. The coat is made up of a couple of different parts. We have the actual coat itself, and then we also have the zippers. And the zippers, if we decimate those, they can actually lose their shape, and we don't want that. We want them to be nice and crisp, and we want to be able to gather that information. Okay, and so that's going to be all the way through here. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll say, all right, let's split these, but we're going to say split to similar parts. Okay, I'm going to hit OK on this, and what it's going to do is it's going to take the coat, and then we're also going to get the zipper split into parts as well. Now you may not be able to see the zipper once it's finished splitting those subtools, so we need to go ahead and scroll down here. Now you'll notice here that we have this coat. We have a bunch of these different little pieces. And I'm going to select the top one here, and I'm actually just going to merge down onto all of those. So let's give that just a moment. Okay. So let's select coat 5. Let's go ahead and go to merge, and we'll just say merge down. I'm going to simply hit always OK, so that way anytime that I hit merge down, it's going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to merge down here. So that is the zipper that goes around the top of the neck there. Okay, and then we also have this zipper here. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and hit merge down one more time. So that's going to put all of those zippers on their own object. Okay, so if I go ahead and hide that, you can see that it's just the zippers here. All right, so I'm going to leave those alone. I do not want to decimate those. If you want, you could go ahead and rename this just to make it a little bit easier to see whenever you're working here. All right, so now we've got all of these split apart, and we've got them in the proper place where we want them to be. So let's go ahead and select the head, and with the head, let's go to Plugin and Decimation Master. First thing that we need to do is we need to go ahead and pre-process it. I like to do it one at a time because whenever we start getting into meshes that are really dense, trying to pre-process all can it might create some unexpected results. You might get a crash or something like that. So I like to go ahead and just pre-process the one that I'm working on, decimate it, and then save it, and then go through the next one. Okay, so this one's pre-processed. And so now we can come in and we can say, all right, let's decimate this thing. There are a couple of things that we want to pay attention to really quickly on the head of this character.